Hello, Stevie here. These are some of my favorite books by the Carson Dellosa homeschool curriculum company. One of my favorite companies to get educational material from. This is the one I first got. I have another copy at my mom's house that's completed. This one's currently empty. Anyway, I have these four higher level mathematical books for homeschool content. Perfect for anybody in secondary school who wants practice work, or if you're an older adult and want to review. This one is the one that the kayaking archer did as like an odd part of her channel because it doesn't have to do with most of what she does. And I really liked it. I'm going to do the review on these 4 books. And I really think there should be a pre-calculus because there used to be 10, 15 years ago. There was also an intro geometry and math practice that they now only have on ebook. And they need to bring those back to print. Anyway, enough with the rant about ebooks ruining the experience of reading. Let's get into it. The first one is called Pre-Algebra. It's for grades 6 through 8. As they say. Table of contents. Ratios, number system, rational numbers, coordinate plane, expressions and equations. It goes deeply into algebra 1, as it says. We have the introduction. I have some of the problems done on here for ratios, proportions. Yeah. And here's my favorite page in the book. It doesn't have to do with pre-algebra or math at all. It has to do with like fun and games. Like, for example, sandbox, read between the lines, long underwear, man overboard, circle of roses. Clever afterthought. I didn't see that one until now. And it goes into several pages. The 100 plus stands for 100 plus pages. This part I haven't gotten to yet when I was doing throwback work. But look, coordinates. That's more algebra based. Inequalities. Equations. See, this packs plenty for a pre-algebra book. Next, we've got Algebra 1. Now, my 69-year-old aunt once picked this up when she was 65, and it confused her because it's a workbook and doesn't have much material to teach. Ratios, proportional relationships, expressions, radicals, fractions, linear, lines and linear equations, pairs and systems, functions. Yeah. Let's see where this starts. Bunch of word problems. I don't usually do those. Here's the parts I started with. And powers. Rational. Radicals. I really like radicals. They're like inverse functions. Just for fun. Yeah, this book has a lot of fun activities in it too. Then adding and subtracting, or multiplying and dividing. It's basically like fraction arithmetic, but with algebra. Basically the stuff you learn in 5th grade, but it's taught at higher level for algebra-based learning. And fractional equations. Factoring. Yeah, this one goes into factoring, unlike the Kumon version, which doesn't. Factoring. Even goes into matrices, which is more like It's mostly matrices are part of Algebra 2 and then pre-calculus, but sometimes matrices are in Algebra 1. And we have functions. I don't have much time left, so I'm just gonna go through the other two really quick. Now, geometry is something that goes off on a tangent itself, because it's radically different than algebra. Transformation, triangles, lines and angles, similarity right triangles to circles, geometric properties, geometric measurement, theorems. So you have all this stuff that's completely different. Here's my favorite part of the book, is the trigonometry part, where it goes into something that's more Algebra 2 trig-based, graphs of trig functions. Circles is always fun. And finally, the last one, which was actually the first one I got, as I wasn't that into throwback work back then. I was into stuff that was at my level. And right now I do throwback work of all levels. Earlier today I did throwback work in workbooks that I created myself. Had to correct some mistakes in it, though. Common core, arithmetic polynomials, reasoning with equations, functions, logarithm, trigonometric, geometric, vector quantities. That something brings you into linear algebra, but it doesn't include any determinants or matrices in that part of the book. See, I didn't do any of these because I already did this book earlier on, so this one doesn't have any data in it completed, any problems completed. I've always used this book as a reference because it's the first Carson Dellosa book I ever got. Because I don't think the books I got in kindergarten were Carson Dellosa. Arithmetic division, graphing quadratics, x-intercepts, logarithms. That's some tricky stuff. Trigonometric functions. You, of course, see the classic. The unit circle on one page, and then the very next one having the... Well, not the very next one in this case, but the very next one having the graphs of trigonometric functions. That's very common in pre-calculus and Algebra 2 trig textbooks. For that to happen. For it to be like that. There's dilations, law of cosines, conic sections, and finally, vectors. And then there's the Pythagorean theorem with trig. Okay, that's it. I was just doing a review of these books, as I do in the ed part of my channel. I still do make videos on the Long Island dichotomy, but not as much. Bye.